Alright, I don't know if I've shown you guys this FBO yet, but this thing is awesome. Got like 4 lounge chairs here. Just set my stuff up in the corner over there. Upstairs has a shower and a cot. That was my bed last night. Water, candies, another shower, and my coffee, which I am absolutely enjoying this morning for a warm breakfast. After downing the coffee and a protein bar for breakfast, I stepped outside to lay out my wing, don my motor, and prepare to set off for a very exciting flight. Alright guys, we're out here at Perryville, 30 minutes before sunrise. Not gonna lie, this is gonna be a tough launch. We are at 1 or 2 miles an hour, so it's essentially a nil winder. Gonna be a beast. But if we get off the ground, we have a pretty cool flight lined up, so let's just pray all goes well. Oh yeah. The motor's running super nicely, so that's a blessing. Wait for the flag to move just a little, just to give me something to work with. All right, there it is. 3, 2, 1, sit. I love this wing. Goodbye, Perryville. I've climbed up. I'm right at cloud base. I really don't have much motivation to go higher. The winds aren't supposed to be better any higher than 2,000 feet. I'm at 1,700 feet and still getting like a 5 to 6, actually probably like an 8 mile an hour tailwind. I'm content with that. And really don't want to fight going through these clouds right now. So I'm just going to stick with this. Making pretty good headway though with a pretty good tailwind. Yeah, 41 miles an hour, trim neutral. We are screaming across the ground right now. After yesterday, this feels so fast. My goodness. St. Louis downtown traffic ultralight powered paraglider is 10 to the south at 1,500 feet, intending to enter the airspace and fly northbound along the river at 500 AJL for the Arch Tour downtown traffic. It's snowing in the pattern. Tower doesn't open for 10 more minutes. I'll talk to them once they're online. There's the city of St. Louis. And the arch already. Man, that thing is huge. Let's hope I don't have any issues getting into the airspace. Tower should come online in like 1 minute.
Digital aircraft St. Louis downtown tower and class Delta airspace is now open for ATC services. Information November's current visual approaches, runway 12 right in use. Any aircraft on frequency advises the intentions.
Downtown tower, ultralight power paragliders just entering your airspace 4 to the south at 1,500 feet, intending to descend to 500 AJL, fly northbound along the river for the Arch Tour, then exit your airspace.
And I'm sorry, last call on downtown tower, you said ultralight, what was the call sign again?
Ultralight powered paraglider.
Roger, ultralight paraglider downtown tower, you said you were 4 southeast of the field?
4 miles to the south-southwest.
Oh, roger that. And you said you're at low level and transitioning northbound along the river is approved. Altimeter 3003, wind call.
Ultralight power paraglider 3003. All right, we are approved. We're cleared into the Delta. We are cleared the low level for the Arch Tour. I just got to make sure I maintain a landing out with all the power lines and everything around here. There appear to be a decent number of green spaces. It's what it looked like from Google Earth when I originally checked this. We should be good to go.
very sick. Downtown Tower ultralight power paraglider is departing your airspace now to the north at 1,000 feet. Thanks for the help.
Ultralight power paraglider, roger, and frequency change is approved.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Arch Tour into and out of St. Louis. So freaking cool. This is a ton of water. This is right where the Mississippi and the Missouri rivers meet. It's actually just over there. Airliner, like a Learjet, taking off out of St. Louis International, which is the whites or the clear spot you can see out in the distance. I will stay safely at low altitude here over the river, out of the class Bravo. That would be an embarrassing way to get violated. And here now marks the end of my journey up the Mississippi. The Mississippi and the Missouri River merge right here, with the Missouri going west and the Mississippi continuing to the north. I am going to follow the Missouri River out to the west, as far as I can go. Which, thankfully, gives me a tailwind as soon as I'm able to turn that direction, so I am looking forward to that. I need some tailwinds after yesterday getting wrecked by those headwinds. But you can actually see the merge right here. Missouri River comes in, and right where that island is where the two rivers combine and make this massive waterway right here. So goodbye Mississippi, hello Missouri River. I don't know why, but this type of landscape with these wide open plains really just finds me. I think it's just gorgeous. Only thing that could be better is if there's a backdrop of some mountains or something here to make this like a flat valley. Oh, I would not mind living in a place like this. Alright guys, we're at 4,300 feet, still under the class Bravo. Wendy was forecasting that we'd have pretty good winds at altitude, but I'm actually not seeing an appreciable change at all between where I was and here. If there's not a really good wind up here, I'm going to opt to go under the class Bravo in Kansas City rather than over it, because there's no benefit. But this is the highest I've been on the journey so far. And we haven't used half our gas yet, so we're going to see how far we get. Alright guys, we're at 6,500 feet. It's actually still warm enough up here that I don't need gloves. I did not find the kick-ass tailwind I thought I would. Maybe 15 miles an hour. But I'm pretty sure that same tailwind actually carried all the way down to like 2,000 feet. So I'll feel it out on the descent, see what it looks like, and then we'll make the call on how high we fly on the next one based off of that. Crazy to think that during the Wingman Challenge, I actually launched at altitudes higher than this. I'm at 6,600 feet right now. It feels super high, but there's just some really high terrain out in the west of the United States. You can also see a nuclear power plant over there that's kicking out steam almost as high as I am now at 5,800 AGL. It's about the only thing anywhere on the horizon. So I don't know if the GoPro can capture or not, but there's a shadow from a contrail right here. You can actually see almost like a rainbow all the way to the ground. That is trippy. This here is the town of Columbia. It's actually a pretty large town. Airport's over there. Gas is really stretching well right now, and I'm not sure how many hundreds of miles, probably over 200 miles for this flight, but I'll add it up at the end. But at this altitude, the tailwind I've got, we're killing it. It's about as good of a view as we're going to get of Columbia, Missouri. You can kind of see the stadium on the far side of the town over there. Boonville, Missouri. Right on the Missouri River. What a prime spot. Very pretty. About to cross over the Missouri now and on my way to my fuel stop and a bathroom break that I desperately need. I'm down to 1 liter of gas. I've got 15 minutes to go. I think I'm just gonna make it to the town of Higginsville. This will be a 6-hour and 20-minute flight. Oh my goodness. Still at 6,500 feet, have a kicking tailwind, and it has carried me all this way. Super stoked. But I am definitely scratching on my way on the gas. I'm almost certainly going to run out. I've got to worry about minimizing sloshing so that I can actually make it here. It's going to be tight. The distance is Higginsville, and just shy of that, where you see this small lake, is the Higginsville Memorial Airport, which it looks like I am just barely going to make. Well, team, I think we've officially run out of gas. Let her starve. Alright, that's it. We are out of gas. In glide mode now. Let's get ready for landing. Alright, we're just on our glide in now. Biggest thing is going to be figuring out the wind direction so we can have a safe landing because we only got one shot. Do I see any smoke or anything? No, not really. Is there a windsock? I don't see one. Well, I'll have to figure it out the old-fashioned way. A Cessna taxiing out. No windsock. Wow. Myself trim 0. Add some flare authority. That windsock is completely slack. Oh, this is tall stuff. Come on, come on. All right. Oh, boy. Well, not my best landing. What we got here?
After a tailwind landing in the tall grass, I capped off an extremely long 6.5-hour flight that covered over 260 miles. The good tailwinds at altitude allowed me to hold an average speed of over 40 miles an hour. I walked my things over to the FBO and found the keys to the crew car. Alright, I just landed in Higginsville, Missouri, and as is custom now, I've got a crew car and I'm going to fill up my bladders at the gas station so I don't have to use 100 low lead. Turns out the 100 low lead was actually out of service at this airport anyway, so this is a super lucky break. I wanted to make it all the way to Omaha this evening, so I didn't waste any time. After refueling my motor, I quickly repacked my things and set back up for a very hot launch in the afternoon sun.
Here's the situation. It's essentially zero wind with the occasional thermic gust here, which means that this launch is going to be sketch balls because there's no particular direction it's coming from. So I'm just going to give myself the most run out and see if I can make it happen. I'm just going to do it again. I'm tired of relaying this wing out though. But that is the most consistent wind direction, even if it is towards obstacles. So I'm just going to have to wait for the wind and be super patient here. Because when there is wind, it's good wind. But when there's not, it's hot and shitty. Okay. That is 100% a hazard. I want nothing to do with. Tie down ropes here. Oh my gosh, okay. All right, motor's coming off. Fuck this. I'm just gonna have to be patient and wait for that wind to come back. Okay. Let's try this again. I'm just gonna have to be patient. Engine idling. Okay. Hot is the problem. Okay. We're ready. Just a little wind. Patience. Oh my gosh! Woo! Oh, okay. Alright, let's go to the other side of their traffic pattern. Oh my gosh. Alright, so my goal now is to climb into a tailwind and try to find some smooth air. Alright, status update. We're leveled off at 3,000 feet. We've got the tailwind we need. Now we're just pointing it in the direction towards the river. I'm going to follow it all the way, obviously avoiding the Class Bravo for Kansas City. Thankfully, this will be the last Class Bravo I have to deal with on this little journey. And I'm glad for that. Not a happy place being around all that busy airspace. Pretty cool small town. This here is the town of St. Joseph, Missouri. Pretty big town. All right, we are back over the Missouri River Valley. We should be following this all the way to Omaha. This is really pretty, and I wish I could get down lower, but the thermals are absolutely kicking my tail. I will take whatever smooth air I can find, and right now that's at 4,500 feet, which happens to be the VFR hemispheric, so this is the altitude I'm sticking with for a while. I think I have enough gas to actually trim out to go faster the rest of the way, but I can't say for certain, so for right now I'm staying trimmed in. You know, being up this high and looking out on an absolutely flat horizon like this, as far as the eye can see in every direction, really lets you know why it's called the Great Plains. It is just nothing all out here. You know, there aren't too many thermals, but when you do hit them, the ones that make it this high are pretty fierce. The surface of the water, you can tell it is just gnarly way down there. They almost have white caps on them. This might be a sketch landing. Full flight sketch. Sketchy takeoff. Sketchy conditions. Sketchy wind at landing, nestled in the middle of the river valley, which you don't actually see. I'm guessing that's in like a floodplain for the river, but somehow this town has survived. It helps it's right off the interstate as well. And the river's pretty far from where the town is. But the valley is huge for the size of the river. Something pretty interesting that you don't see every day. There's a traffic jam over here on the interstate that I don't know if you can make out or not, but I'm actually going faster than the traffic on the interstate towards Omaha. That's not something you get to do on a paramotor very often. Here, a massive railroad filling station. They pull into that loop and fill them with grain or whatever they're going to transport. Off in the distance, as far as the eye can see, is windmill farms. And then right here, you have like a Buc-ee's and a small town nestled into the river valley or the hills just to the east. Really cool shot. We're about 30 minutes out. It's gonna be a sketchy ass landing though. We're probably 10 gust 19 in the field right now. The thermals are way worse than expected. I'm guessing that's thermit, or it's just bad winds because the Great Plains are a terrible place to fly. Nebraska City here. And on the right is a truck stop that I actually had as one of my potential gas options. Looks pretty full right now though. It would have been a tough launch and landing. It would have made a good option if the parking lot was empty.
Unfortunately, my GoPro died here, but my fiance got a couple shots as I approached and landed at Plattsmouth, Nebraska. The landing was gusty and strong, but I landed trimmed out, which made it manageable. This flight was 190 miles, but thanks to the kicking tailwind, I was able to do it in less than 4 hours with an incredible average ground speed of 50 miles per hour. I walked my stuff to the FBO, quickly refueled, then was fortunate enough to be able to spend the night in my own home that night and do some laundry, which I desperately needed after sweating through my clothes completely during the last takeoff. I unfortunately wouldn't be able to stay long though, since the weather looked great for another takeoff before sunrise the next day. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned as I continue the adventure in the next episode.